The time has undoubtedly drawn nigh for the junior welterweight division. And very soon, we're going to find out whether or not WBC champion Regis Prograis is ready to step up the plate for exhibiting the actions behind the words he had spoken. He already avoided one situation, but a heavier storm is brewing because Devin Haney, the Dream, is looking to come up to the 140-pound division and challenge for a world title there. Now, the only question after this is Regis up to the task of putting his WBC title on the line against Devin Haney? It's time to put up or shut up. What's gonna happen? Let's talk about it. There's nothing wrong with seeing young men in the sport of boxing challenge one another, especially when we're talking about titles being on the line. And currently, fresh off the heels of Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia and Earl Spence Jr., Terrence Bud Crawford, Devin Haney is still seeking a challenge for himself. He's not looking to stand pat. He's not looking for excuses. He's looking for the next man up. Regis Prograis, WBC 140-pound junior welterweight champion. And this, I believe, is a stiff enough challenge. And according to Boxing News 24, promoter Eddie Hearn is saying that the fight between Regis Prograis and Devin Haney is virtually agreed for Regis's light welterweight title. But he's also warning that they're running out of time to get the talks wrapped up. And I wonder why that is. Prograis, who is no longer a spring chicken, may be looking for a little extra cheddar. And there's nothing wrong with a little extra cheddar, right? But when you're thinking about who the A side would be, it's not really Prograis. It's his title. But the true A side, the man with the record of 30-0 with 15 KOs. That's Devin Haney. Now, Prograis, whose record is 29-1 with 24 KOs, is one who may be looking to make as much money he can because the future is a little shorter ahead of him. Haney recently petitioned the WBC to allow him to freeze his lightweight titles and allowing him to bypass his mandatory challenger, Shakur Stevenson, to go up to 140 to try and become a two-division world champion by defeating Prograis. It is believed that the World Boxing Council will grant Haney's request. However, if they choose not to, it's thought that Haney will then ask for the franchise tag, which would allow him to avoid Shakur for as long as he desires. Prograis came close to losing his last fight in June against Danielito Zorrilla, just barely squeaking by with a 12-round split decision after getting dropped in round 2 and staggered in the 3rd. I remember that very clearly and succinctly. Prograis has talked like he's Mr. Big, but he was big down in that fight, and a round or two could have made a difference in the final outcome. The article goes on. It's generally believed that Prograis' poor showing against Zorrilla is what piqued Haney's interest, like a wolf that has spotted weakness in its prey. Haney, with his keen eye, likely saw an old lame fighter on his last legs, ready to be picked off for an easy meal. Let me say something about that. Haney has always looked toward the stronger champions to consider. So even in this instance, Prograis is considered one of the stronger champions, but also one of the ones that is more familiar to the boxing public. And I don't see him looking at Prograis as weak, but a real stiff challenge, because Prograis has experience. He's a 2-time champion, proven. He has power. He's another southpaw. And it will be very interesting to see how Devin fares at a higher weight, seeing that he's fought the entire career at lightweight. It's time for him to move up. The article goes on to state that the fight is not made. I don't believe that the date October 28th will happen, but I spoke to Bill Haney today. I spoke to Devin Haney today, and we're speaking to Regis Prograis nonstop, said Eddie Hearn to IFL TV, giving an update on the Regis Prograis versus Devin Haney negotiations. The only thing I don't like about this is that Eddie Hearn has proven to us time and time again that he is not necessarily the most honest and forthcoming promoter in the sport of boxing. That alone makes me have reason for pause on this even taking place. When it comes to fights that he really wants to make, he pushes, he presses, he makes sure that you don't forget about what he's trying to do. He goes on to say both fighters are up for the fight but haven't agreed to terms. At the same time, they've virtually agreed to terms, but there is still some work to do. I think that it's very likely we'll see that fight, but we are running out of time. We need to conclude it in the next 24 to 48 hours with the WBC, but that's the fight we want to make. It's a tremendous fight, and hopefully we'll be up tonight trying to get it over the line, said Hearn. You see, when it comes down to it, when you really think about it, Prograis is the one that'll hold this promotion up. See, Regis is the type of fighter, He'll price himself out of the opportunity if he really feels that Devin may be a threat to his title run. And I could see that being the case because Devin, who's not yet 27 years old, is eager and he wants to display his wares as one of the best in modern boxing. He's already become undisputed at lightweight. So with an eye toward a higher division of becoming a world champ, it's highly likely that eventually he'll get a belt up there. But Regis may not want to fight unless he's paid handsomely. And see, that's when fans will know if he really is a true champion or is he an opportunist. He said he sought a rematch with Josh Taylor. But even now that Josh Taylor has lost to Teofimo Lopez, that's not necessarily a fight that people really want to see either. So Regis, who is running away from another champion in the division, may be trapped. And it's his own doing. But what do you think? Haney needs a world title at 140 to use as a bargaining chip to negotiate a deal for a mega fight against WBO light welterweight champion Teofimo Lopez. If the Prograis Haney fight isn't made, it's likely we'll see Haney opt to request the WBC give him the franchise tag, and then he'll look to make an easy defense against his mandatory challengers, George Kambosos Jr. or Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Yeah, think about it. See, Devin has made the right moves, and he is looking to do his best at becoming a two-time world champion. All that stands in the way is Regis, and I don't see Regis doing very much going forward in the future in this division. He has squandered a lot of time on top of some talent, and now the walls are closing in. That Zorilla fight is fresh in people's minds, and if he thinks just because he went over to DAZN that they're just going to continue to feed him those type of opponents, he has another thing coming. Because one of the things that Hearns does, whether he intently does it or it just happens to be the way they do business, he puts guys in tough. And sometimes the favorite is not. But what do you think? Will Regis step up to the plate of opportunity and give Devin Haney this shot? Or will he tinker around with the figures and negotiate himself out of a deal? It remains to be seen. But I think he'll do the latter. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what your thoughts are when it comes down to Prograis taking on Devin Haney. He'll either get in there or he will not. He should take the fight. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.